Let's start with your social media. I know a lot of people use social media as like something that's not very serious. And you go to an event, you meet people, and it's like, what's your Instagram? Add me on Instagram. You're gonna log in and you're gonna open your app and you're gonna start seeing people's stories and people's posts. And there's an algorithm, and whatever you watch, it will show you more of. So you need to be so specific about who you want getting access to your mind. For me, I'm very particular about who I follow. I'm thoughtful about the organizations that I'm following, what type of content they're putting out there. You can be friends with somebody, you can have a professional relationship with someone, or even like have somebody who's an acquaintance, even a close friends. I literally have friends that I don't check what they're posting because their life does not align with where I'm at right now. So it's not going to serve me. So the first thing I want you to do, open up your Instagram, open up your TikTok, run through the list of people you're following. Unless it's your family or your best friend or like a work related person that you can't really remove them. We'll get to what you can do. But if there are people that you're following that you've had no interaction with in the last 6 months at all, like they're not liking your posts, you're not engaging with their posts, they're not really posting anything that's of value to you, just remove them. Like I know some people have such a hard time with this because they're like, oh, I don't want to offend them, or like they'll think I'm mad at them. You haven't talked to this person in 6 months. Like they're adding nothing to your life. Like, you guys, this is about you. This is about clearing your mind. That's why I take the time to kind of filter and clean my Instagram every 6 months. I'm not a big TikToker, so that's not really something that affects me, but you need to get on there and clear out that space. And maybe you can add a few accounts that will give you inspiration. Like if you're trying to get on top of your fitness, maybe follow 2 or 3 fitness influencers and content creators that are creating the type of content that's going to inspire you. If you really are concerned about somebody getting offended or it's a sensitive situation, you can just mute their stories and mute their posts, and they will never know. It'll be our secret. No one's going to find out. Outside of just social media, who are you surrounding yourself with? Your network is your net worth. This is something that's been said a million times. I didn't come up with it, and there's so much truth to it. Because the ideas that people around you have, their values, their grit, their ambition, you're going to feed into that. And if you're around people who uplift you, who have similar goals as you, similar mindset, it's going to motivate you even more. Whereas if you're around people who just are in a completely different phase of life, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if they're just completely on a different path, there's just not a lot of alignment. And it doesn't mean you need to cut them out of your life completely, but you need to be mindful of the amount of time you're spending with them. For example, some of my closest friends are married with kids. They're still my close friends. I value their opinion. I value their perspective on a lot of things in life. But I keep a distance when it comes to where I'm at with my relationships, with, socializing, with how I manage my time, because our lives just don't look similar at all. And there's a time and place for everyone in your life, but you need to surround yourself with people who are going to serve you the most right now, and be there for your friends. Like, be the person who's reliable and be the person that is there one phone call for a handful of people, so long as they're going to be there for you as well. But if you're in a business mindset, let's say, because that's where I'm at right now, I'm building a business, I'm focused on growth, I'm also focused on keeping my mental health intact and decompressing. So I want to be around people, particularly women, who are in growth phase. I want to be around women who are building something from scratch, who are dealing with insecurities and doubts and burnout, so we can support each other and we can talk about, like, how are you managing your time? How are you managing your health? How are you managing your hormones through this whole process? So you need to be around that because that's the advice you need. You're in the same playing field. Now, I also want to caution you from being around people who are too many steps ahead of you. So sometimes we want to have role models and there's people we look up to and they have accomplished the thing that we want so bad in life right now. They're already there. But if you are a startup and your role model is someone who's, a multi-million dollar business owner and they're already 5 years into their journey, they're too far removed from the stage of the process that you're in right now. So they don't remember what it feels like to be there because they've already achieved the level of success. So what's going to be best for you when you're looking for people to be inspired by outside of just your friends is to surround yourself with people who are maybe 1 or 2 or 3 steps ahead of you. Is that's going to give you some clarity on like where you can go and also like what's possible, right? Because you're already on that track. So, seeing that, all right, in a year from now, I can be where she is. And, mimic the lifestyle that they have right now, mimic how they manage their time, like the places they go, how they move in the world, because that's where you're headed.